Hi, how's everyone doing? Is everyone familiar with Metamask snaps by a show of hands? Anyone? Cool. Okay, so for those who aren't, I'm going to introduce you to snaps in a little bit, but I'd like to walk you guys through the history of Metamask and how we've been revolutionizing Web3 and making it easier for developers to make dApps. So this is the agenda. We'll be walking through the history of Metamask, the problems with our current architecture, what we see as the next revolutionary step in Web3, Metamask snaps, and then I'll be talking about some standards and then some closing remarks. So how have we made it easy for devs to develop dApps? We started with the injected Web3 JS provider into the window object. All you need to have is Metamask installed, and you're good to go. No need to set up your node. It can be daunting to set up a node yourself, maintain that, and interact with it. It seems like a lot of friction to get started as a dApp developer. Injecting Web3 JS into the window object was a way to make it easier for developers to just start making dApps. What was the next step? In January 2021, we stopped injecting Web3 JS and moved to our current setup, window.ethereum. So we currently have two ways to get started building a dApp. We have our MetaMask Detect Provider package, and we have our MetaMask SDK, which is a bit more robust. And then moving forward, we introduced wallet methods that made it more convenient for dApp developers to create a seamless experience. So here's a list of the wallet methods that we have. We have wallet request permissions. That'll let you request permissions to ETH accounts. Wallet get permissions. It'll show you what permissions that you have. Wallet add Ethereum chain. It'll open up a prompt for you to add a new chain. Wallet switch Ethereum chain. It'll let you switch a chain. Register onboarding. It'll let you register your dApp to kick back to after the onboarding process. Wallet watch asset. It'll let you register your NFTs. Wallet scan QR code, self-explanatory. So moving on forward, what is the problem with our current architecture? So to show you our current architecture, we have the MetaMask extension, we have MetaMask Mobile, and we have the dApp that interacts with both through JSON RPC. It relays requests to extension, and then those get relayed over to our node provider. So does anyone see bottlenecks in this architecture right now? By a show of hands. Anyone? So the bottleneck exists at the node level and at the extension level. So what this means is that if we're only dealing with inferior and it makes it difficult to do transactions on non-EVM networks. We've been traditionally an Ethereum wallet and now EVM wallet, but we can't move past that if we have this architecture. And similarly with extension, we have a set API that we're building that developers will rely on. And the thing is that they have to move at our pace. And so that makes it difficult for the wallet to grow quickly with people's needs and wants. Moving forward, we have too many features to build. We have so many issues open that it makes it difficult from a manpower perspective to be able to address all the things that people want. So what is our solution to this? We also have too many chains to support. As a landscape grows larger, it becomes more difficult to provide for a consistent and rich experience. Most chains have different variables, and it makes it difficult to reliably do things like gas estimation. Non-EVM chain support, just like as I was mentioning. So what is the solution to this? MetaMask snaps. So what we have decided is to decentralize the wallet. So what are MetaMask snaps, and why do we need them? Snaps is a platform that allows anyone to extend the functionality of MetaMask without asking for permission from MetaMask or from anyone other than the end user. A snap is a JavaScript program that is ran in a sandbox execution environment. It lets you interact in new ways with the wallet and essentially modularize it. And how do snaps work? Snaps utilize our existing permission system to request a set of permissions from the user when installing a snap. And so these permissions let the dApp developer do interesting things. The set of permissions that are currently available for the platform are at this link provided. And so Snaps works using methods in JSON RPC requests, similar to how dApps interact with our Ethereum provider now. And so some of the Snap methods that we have available are Snap manage state, Snap get BIP44 entropy. You can see that they're prefixed with Snap. So this is our architecture currently with snaps. It's a bit small, but you can see we have the snap, we have npm, we have MetaMask, we have our execution environment, and so all of these work in tandem to be able to execute the snap code and get back the results to the extension itself. This is an example of a sample snap. These are lightweight JavaScript programs similar to AWS Lambdas. They have an ephemeral lifecycle. So if you see, we have exports. So this is the most common one on RPC requests. So whenever a snap gets an RPC request, it would render it through this code. So we think that everything is good now, right? We have this great permissionless platform. We have an API where we expose certain methods that developers can use, but this is not good enough. How do we know what people want? How can we get feedback from the public? How do we handle what we call protocol snaps, which are essentially pushing us into a non-EVM world? What are the rules of engagement? Instead of siloing the work within MetaMask, we want to get people involved with what we do and how we move forward as a whole in the space. So this leads me to sipping on a cold one in mi casa. So what are SIPs and what is casa? SIPs stand for Snaps Improvement Proposals. Akin to EIPs, these proposals help shape the platform and allow for anyone outside of our organization to get involved. We've already had a few people write SIPs, and these SIPs definitely help us set the vision for where we want to move forward in the Snaps platform. What is CASA? CASA stands for Chain Agnostic Standards Alliance. It's a collection of working groups that create blockchain-agnostic standards. So some of the work that we're doing there currently, it has to do with multi-chain. So current work is CAPE 25. It outlines the request for a dApp to multiple chains. And this is ongoing work. This is work that's open to the public. These are things that we would like input from the greater community, from dApp developers. And so some closing remarks. We have some links here that'll show you how to get started with snaps. Currently, snaps are allow listed. Snap developers would have to get their snap audited to get added to our allow list. But in the future, we're hoping to move towards a permissionless distribution scheme. So here you can see the link for our GitHub repo for the SIPs and also the repo for CASA. Yeah, this is pretty much it. If anyone has questions, feel free.
Thank you so much, Malik. Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks. Snaps are cool. Can snaps talk to each other?
They can.
Cool.
Okay, short and sweet.
Hey, thank you. So it basically opens up the App Store problem of curation, right? Could you expand a little bit how you think about what gets a snap approved? Is it just having an audit, or are there still going to be any other criteria of what you are going to allow to interact with Metamask?
Right. So currently, the way it works is that we'll work closely with Snap developers, right, to help them to even get started with a Snap and create the Snap, if they so need. We have great documentation right now, but the process of getting into our allow list would be, to get audited by some firm. We have firms that we can suggest as well, and then the idea we would be reviewing the audit report ourselves, and then we add you to our allow list. But in the future, we're hoping to move towards a scheme where we're not, the gatekeepers to this, and anyone can create a Snap and have it installed within the extension. Now, that can seem daunting, right? Anyone can create a Snap, and anyone's Snap can be executed in an extension. That's why we're moving iteratively in a manner where we can make sure that in the future, malicious Snap developers wouldn't be able to get their code into the extension. So that's why we're starting off with allow list, and then we're currently exploring solutions how to get this into a permissionless distribution.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, thanks. Do snaps have access to signer accounts? For example, to support smart contract wallets?
Yes. We're working on account abstraction as well. There's a question in the back.
There you go.
Yes, I was wondering how you're managing that balance with security, since it's the browser extension is such a so potentially dangerous place. Where do you draw the line, and how do you plan to do that in the future when you get to that point when you're potentially allowing any kind of
Right. So to explain that a little bit, to talk about the security aspect of snaps. So the snaps are ran in a sandbox execution environment using secure ECMAScript. If you remember, I was talking about permissions and how snaps work with permissions on top of our permission system. What those permissions do is they afford certain globals to this execution environment. So if you guys aren't familiar with secure ECMAScript, they have a compartment module that lets you run code inside of it. And so these permissions, they would afford certain globals to it. So if a snap doesn't have permissions, it can't do anything outside of that.
Got it. So you have an interface between the core MetaMask logic and the environment that the snap is running in. Cool. Thanks.
The App Store was mentioned before. What guarantees do we have today building on top of snaps that you will not at some point say you create revenue within your snap, we want some part of that revenue?
Oh no, we're not. We're not looking to make revenue off of snaps. The idea is to increasingly let users modify the wallet how they see. I mean, MetaMask has other revenue streams, and snaps is not necessarily something that we're looking to make money off of. Snap developers, they can certainly create models around their snaps to do so. We have a few partner snaps, transaction insight snaps that have certain models as to how many free insights you get, and then based on that, you might have to pay more money. But we're not looking to make any money off of snaps.
But no guarantees.
What's that?
There's no guarantees as of now.
I mean, I can't say for sure, but yeah, that's not in our strategy. Yeah, I don't want to say yes or no, but yeah, it's not in our strategy.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Malik? All right. In that case, thank you once more.
Yeah. Thank you.